Hello and welcome. I want to inspire you to use your jelly plate. It is worthwhile because you can have really great effects and you have great papers and they are all handmade. Later on I used also stamps and here you can see some results. Subscribers already know that I really like to use stencils and I also do it in this video. At the end of my video I have a little sneak peek to show you my signatures and some inspiration props for you, and I hope you stay tuned. In this big tin I have my jelly plate. Now the fun can begin. The jelly plate is still on my table and I try to find the right stamp for my first print. I don't know if it is something new for you. I like to stamp and also I like to use my leftovers from my die cuts. And this is a simple paper. It is a paper with 250 GSM and I use it as a stencil. And before I used a stamp from Stamperia and it is a very nice background stamp. I have a brayer. This one is from Tim Holtz and I like this little brayer because it is very useful to use distress oxides. But I have also another one and I wanted to use the black one for green colors and this one for yellow and orange colors, but later on I forgotten my plan and yeah, I used it in another way. I mixed it up. It was a lot of fun to brayer all my leaves and change the colors, and yeah, suddenly you change your brayers and yeah, I think that is not bad because these are all distress oxides and yeah, sometimes I must say I also use distress ink, but I don't have many distress inks because I prefer distress oxides. They are a little bit lighter and they are so nice when you use it with water and they react very nice with water, and I like these effects with water and distress oxides. Now I'm pressing the paper on the jelly plate with my hands, and later on I use also my brayer. And yeah, on the backside of the paper, now you have also a design. This way of the design wasn't planned, but I use later on also leaves and stencils and stems, and I color it a little bit different. This is a little bubble stamp from Impression Obsession. This is one of my favorite stamps ever for backgrounds. It is from Stamperia and I use it very often. I like to stamp with it, and it is something you can use in the background. You can make your journals, you can use it on cards. I really like the stamp. And now again I have my paper and I brayer my leaves on my jelly plate, and I change often the position of my leaves because I want to have a look. I want to say a random look. Yeah, and my brayer is really good enough to come also inside this little paper. It is not a regular stencil, and I was really surprised that it works so well with a 250 GSM paper. Of course, the paper is not as sturdy as a stencil, but in my case, in this case, it works very well. Oh, I like especially this paper. Isn't it lovely? So nice colors. And of course you can use your paper with your print again and again. You can lay one print over the other and try your best. Perhaps it works very well. I like the possibilities of my jelly plate because you can make your first print and then layer on your next print. And in this case, I made a little frame with my stamp and a distress ink. In this case, it is a very dark green distress ink. And now I have a little frame for my DIN A4 paper and it surrounds my leaves. Now I use a very nice background stamp. It is a mixed media stamp, I think, and it has a word inside, and I will tell you later on what I'm thinking of stamps with words on a jelly plate. When you are stamping on a jelly plate, you must know something. You change the position. Of course, when you stamp directly on your paper, you have a word you can read from the left to the right side. But when you stamp it on a jelly plate and put your paper on, it is vice versa. You can read it from the right side to the left side. If you want to avoid this, there are two stamp sets, I think, from Tim Holtz. I was watching his video with Christmas stuff, and he showed a stamp set with reverse words, with reverse stamps. And he wanted to use these stamps on a stamp or in an embossing folder, but I think if you have some of these stamps, you can use it also on your jelly plate and when you have the words in the right way. But I don't have these stamps, and yeah, I use what I have. Now I see something on my paper. I used my die cut, my leftovers on the jelly plate, and with this paper I took away my print, my colors. And that was the reason, because the paper is in the middle a little bit lighter. And now I want to try something else. I first stamp on my jelly plate, and then afterwards I use my brayer, and I was braying with my colors, with my inks on the jelly plate. And I know that the colors will react with my stamping prints. I know that, but I want to see the result, and of course it will all mix together, and yeah, the print will be darker. Nice effect, but the stamping is not so visible as before. It is always worthwhile to experiment with your inks, with your brayers, and also with your stencils. And now I think it is time to use different colors. I don't change my motifs so often because I want to use all these papers in a junk journal, and I want to have a unique look, but yeah, I don't want to change the theme so much. For example, I use a sailing ship, and then again leaves or something that you want to use in an autumn album. And the sailing ship is really not a thing you use in your journal, and I think that doesn't make sense. That is also the reason that I use now greens and yellows and perhaps a little bit of brown. And I have my color family, and I don't want to change it too much. I'm thinking of my stencil, my paper stencil, and I think it is not bad. Perhaps I can use it also, and I can put the paper underneath and make something new, something else. I'm not sure. And for you now, a little sneak peek into my signatures. All these papers were made today with my jelly plate, stencils, and one other technique. And perhaps I will show it in another video, but for today I only show you now my signatures, and yeah, I have to start on another day. On this page you can see my little stamp, and it is mirrored, and you can't read the word because it is mirrored. You must know that these effects happen when you're using a jelly plate. If you don't like it, then use a stamp without words and you will be happy with the result. But I like it and I use it, and I know that this effect will happen and it is not bothering me. I hope these papers are an inspiration for you to use also your jelly plate. A few days ago I watched a video by Gina K, and she inspired me to make this page. It is very simple to make, and I was really surprised that you can use your scoring board and later on your inks to have such a great effect. And yeah, I like to use it, and perhaps I will also do a video, but it is not my idea, and you can watch a video by Gina K. Yeah, and now I want to wish you a creative day. Be happy and have fun with your jelly plate, and perhaps I will see you soon again. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to write a little comment, that would make me very happy. Bye for now.